Before we get into playing Half-Life 2 Episode 1, there is something that I want to cover. And that something is a certain article by the New York Post. The New York Post recently made an article about me, about what I do, about the channels I run. Now, I have read the New York Post article that was written about the channels before, but I have not reacted to it on video or on live stream quite yet. And so I figured, hey, why not do that today? So let's go ahead, switch over to this scene over here, and let's go ahead and pop open Google just like that. Let's go and pop open Google, and we want to look up, I think it is New York Post. Let's just look up Jacob Jones. New York Post, Jacob Jones. Here we go. Let's go and click on it and take a look. So, what does the New York Post have to say about me? Well, title of the article. Oh my God, there are so many ads. But the title... There's so many pop-up ads. It's crazy. There's so many pop-up ads. So, the title of this article, which is about me, Jacob Jones, says, young influencer living the dream, quote unquote, posts videos of himself drinking and smoking all day long. I do not consider myself to be an influencer. In fact, I don't want to be an influencer. I just want to enjoy smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol and making videos. While I don't consider myself an influencer, the rest of the title is very accurate because I do post videos of myself smoking and drinking all day long. So just right off the bat, the title of this article is hilarious, and it just says, smoking 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Life is grand for Jacob Jones, an influencer who has built a follower all on... Get more all jumbled up. Life is grand for Jacob Jones, an influencer who has built a following online by openly embracing the kind of habits most people try to keep discreet, spending his days outside puffing on cigarettes and sipping boozy concoctions. That is pretty accurate. That's not wrong at all. That is pretty accurate, I will acknowledge. The internet personality, who is in his mid-20s and from North Carolina, has more than 700,000 subscribers on his main YouTube channel and over 500,000 followers on his Instagram. And they directly link to both my YouTube, which I very much appreciate, along with also my Instagram as well, which, yes, has just opened up right here. We can see a photo right here of me. This is a screen cap from my cigarette mukbang video. It just says, it only takes a quick scroll through either page to notice an obvious theme. Cigarette mukbang hella buzzed. He titled an hour-long YouTube video, during which a sunglass-wearing Jones happily chain-smoked and reviewed a variety of cigarettes, from American Spirits to Marlboro Menthols to Camels from Mexico. It then goes on to say, in another straightforward upload called Day Drinking and Smoking Cigarettes at 8 a.m. on a Thursday, Jones did just that. Indeed, I did. I did just that at 8 a.m. on a Thursday. What can I say? I cannot deny that. On his other YouTube account, Jacob Jones Money, which they provide a direct link to. They provide a direct link to my other account, Jacob Jones Money, which of course I highly recommend subscribing to if you guys have not already. On his other YouTube account, Jacob Jones Money, he eagerly documented his time drinking alone in a public park on Valentine's Day. So I did. But he said in that video, I am looking forward to this. I am looking forward to drinking alone on Valentine's Day. Other clips show him sampling soda mixed with Everclear. They leave a link to that video. Or smoking across the world, visiting cities from Nashville to Tokyo. But yes, I did sample soda mixed with Everclear, including right here where we can see drinking Everclear and Pepsi for the first time. Now, I looked at the analytics for this video after this article went live. For about 6 hours after this article went live, this specific video saw a massive uptick in views. It got genuinely about 3,000 views in 6 hours after the video had already kind of like, okay, yeah, everybody who has watched it was going to watch it kind of thing. And it's just kind of like just chilling in the algorithm. And then all of a sudden there's a massive external spike of views. And that's due to this article right here. Appreciate them literally directly linking my video, I'll acknowledge. Indulging in his vices has been his full-time job since he graduated college. True. That's factual. That's actually true. Roughly 4 years ago. Jones told the Gobcast, but it's unclear how much he's really raking in. But this is another reason why I know the author of this post is tapped in. They watched the Gobcast episode. It then goes on to say, it appears that Jones's main YouTube channel got demonetized for its cigarette-heavy content. But Jacob Jones Money, which has about 100,000 subscribers, earns revenue. But yes, my main YouTube channel, my smoking YouTube channel, is completely, entirely demonetized. I make no money off of that channel with AdSense, with Super Chats, or with memberships. No money at all. It then goes on to say, the article then goes on to say, he has 74 subscribers on Patreon, a membership-based content platform who may pay more than $160 per month for his videos. Now, this is worded in a weird way. It's not $160 to subscribe for exclusive videos and for like uncut videos on my Patreon. It's $5 to $10 a month, whichever you want to pay. Overall, it's $160. That's worded in a little bit of an odd way, so I wanted to just go and clarify that. But yes, 74 subscribers on my Patreon, and they directly link to my Patreon. They directly link to my Patreon, which is amazing. Yo, we're up to $180. Yo, appreciate the support, y'all. Appreciate the support, y'all. Then goes on to say he also has a Twitch with 11,000 followers, which is, I imagine, at least what a bunch of y'all are watching right now. Where subscribers can pay $5.99 a month to become a subscriber, although you can follow for free, of course. And then goes on to say his anti-wellness mantra comes with obvious health risks. His admirers are I'm getting my words so jumbled up. This is just such a surreal thing to be reading through live on stream. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy. I just enjoy making videos. I just enjoy smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol and making videos about those topics. And I just enjoy making videos as a whole. There's lots of topics I enjoy making videos on. I'm just a guy. So to have a New York Post article about what I do is, frankly put, crazy. That's like nuts. This is the first ever news article I have ever seen about me. Maybe there has been another that I never saw, but this is the first news article I've ever seen about the channel, about the platforms, about me. It's surreal. It's surreal to be reading through, frankly put. It just goes on to say, while his anti-wellness mantra comes with obvious health risks, his admirers are mesmerized by his lifestyle. This calls for a cigarette. Thank you for inspiration. One viewer reacted to his Valentine's Day video. I think I remember that comment. I'm pretty sure I remember that comment. And then it goes on to say, here's a guy that really does it for the love of the game. Another said, with stunned viewers on Facebook saying he is living his best life and living the dream. I don't have a Facebook account, so I don't know what Facebook, the creator of this article, is referring to. One ex-user called Jones a lucky bastard. Hey, what can I say? Only big baller moves here, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Only big baller moves here, for real, for real. We see another photo right here. I think this is from my video, Smoking Cigarettes in Silence at 6 p.m. in the afternoon, or something along those lines. It's something along those lines. I can't remember the exact title, but I think that's from that video. Just says, Jones happily samples new cigarettes in his lengthy review videos. I do indeed. I do that. And then it says, but others were less amused. One person on Facebook wrote, society loves losers. Another addressed the elephant in the room. While it may be entertaining, Jones's habits are clearly unhealthy. And this is something I will not deny. Smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol on any regular basis is unhealthy. But I love making cigarette videos. I love drinking my alcohol. And I got no complaints on my behalf, personally speaking, I will acknowledge. I got no complaints on my behalf, that is for sure. And it goes on to say, you finna end up like a cooked turkey from the inside out. One ex-user warned. Strange watching somebody slowly kill themselves. Another woman chimed in. Yo, I've heard that so much. I've heard that, like, I swear, thousands of times since I started making smoking videos on YouTube. I've literally heard that thousands of times. That's just a comment that I don't even register anymore, I'm not gonna lie. And then it says, Jones did not immediately respond to a request for comment. But there's comments from Alexander Sletton. It just says, smoking that much will increase chance of cancer and very early aging. Go have fun, but I really don't know how cigarettes are fun. Just says, all I've ever seen is people so fundamentally addicted to them they can't step outside without lighting one. True. Every time I step outside, I do want to light one. I'm not going to deny that. So they're saying this, not like a negative comment one way or the other kind of thing. I mean, like, they're saying increased chance of cancer and very early aging. That's just fact. That's fact. That's not like a negative comment. It's not somebody dissing on me. Not a negative comment towards me or my personality. Just factual comment kind of thing. Egbert Seuss also left their own comment saying, the video is funny. Look, you're in your 20s and this is the time to do stuff and take chances. Some of my highest highs and lowest lows came during that time because once you hit 30, you're not a kid anymore and the world will let you know. Excuse me, just burped. Anna Maria T. And I have not read this comment yet. I have read this one before, but I have not read this one previously. It says, I respectfully and strongly disagree with you. One can do stuff and take chances, quote unquote, without tobacco and Everclear. They're saying they're in their 20s. I do all sorts of stuff and live a fun life without stooping to tobacco and Everclear. Anna Maria, you're saying you're in your 20s. And I mean no offense. You're saying you're in your 20s and you can live a fun life without stooping to tobacco and Everclear. Anna Maria, you're looking at the New York Post. You're looking at the New York Post. I'm pretty sure what you're doing is just as bad for your health as what I'm doing to mine. Yo! Goblin! Appreciate the raid, my man. Hope you doing well, my man. We going over a New York Post article that was written about the channel recently. And they actually mentioned the Gobcast during this article. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but this article mentioned how I was talking about how indulging in my vices, indulging in cigarettes and alcohol, has been my full-time job since I graduated college roughly 4 years ago. And that's what I said during the Gobcast. And the Gobcast is directly linked right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the Gobcast was mentioned during this article, and we're just taking a look at the article a little bit more so than not. I've already gone through most of the article, but I'm now taking a look at the comments, seeing what people on the New York Post are saying about the channel. And Buzzy Bees says $75K a month for 2 social media platforms and alone. I don't know where they're getting that number from. My main channel is demonetized. My monetized channel just does not get views like that. And my live streams do not go that heavy. But yeah, I do not make $75,000 a month. For me, YouTube very much is a job, but a job that I enjoy. This is not how I'm getting rich. I'm not getting rich off of doing YouTube. But YouTube is a job that I love doing. You know what they say, get a job that you love doing and it doesn't even feel like work. That's what I am in that's what I'm in right now, scenario-wise. I'm very thankful to be in the position I am in right now, but I don't want to overstate how much money I make because I do not make $75,000 a month. If I did, I would not have a bunch of screens in my bedroom as the background of the video. I would not have screens in my bedroom as the background of the live stream. I am not making $75,000 a month. YouTube to me very much is a job. It's a job I love doing, but it's a job that I have to keep plugging at because if I don't keep plugging at it, I will make no more money. But yeah, $75,000 a month. I'm not sure where Buzzy Bees is getting that number from, but it is a hilarious number, I will acknowledge. I'd love to make $75K a month. That would be amazing, but I am not making $75K a month. Any other comments? Doesn't look like there's any other comments. Final thoughts on this article as a whole. Final thoughts on the New York Post article about me. Hilarious article. Absolutely, I will acknowledge, surreal to read through. And I got to give a shout out to the writer. I got to give a shout out to the author of this article, Sonia Gujliara, because she could have totally made this a drama piece and went one way or the other about the YouTube channel, like just gone really negative on it or really positive on it. But Sonia, if you're watching this clip, I gotta give compliments, and one of the things I really appreciate as the person this article is about is just the neutral take that was taken. I really appreciate that. It would be not disheartening, but just really not nice to see an article that's nothing but negativity about me. And I am so thankful that this article is not one of those. This article that I've got up right now is an article that just kind of lays everything out as it is. They lay everything out as it is. And I mean, like, everything they're saying is just factual. Nothing they're saying is opinionated one way or the other. They're just saying what's in front of them fact-wise and sharing people's opinion with comments from people on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that kind of thing. And so I truly do appreciate the fact that Sonia did not make this article one way or the other, negative or positive. Seriously, I really appreciate that. And that's something that I'd like to see from journalism more. There's so much journalism that is obviously opinionated and is not just showing the facts, even when the facts are the only things that should be shown. Letting the reader choose what their opinion will be instead of choosing what their opinion should be. That's something that I really appreciate seeing, and it's been an article that I haven't minded like just looking at. Like, this has been a really interesting experience to talk about, to discuss this article, and just in general, just talk about what's going on with this. It's very surreal. It's very interesting to me. This is the first ever news article that I've ever seen about me. And so it's just been a very surreal experience as well. I don't think there's any other news article that I've ever seen about the channel, about the platforms before. So this is very interesting to see, very interesting to read over. And it's without a doubt allowed for some extra advertising and promotion. No complaints on my behalf about that. I love my free advertising.